Alrighty. Is that the end of that topic?
I believe so.
Alright. I have one more hot take. And this is my hot take. I said it to some of the people here.
This is gonna piss some people off.
Yes.
I haven't heard this.
He hasn't heard this one.
Right.
So buckle up. My hot take is, as a vocalist exclusively, not a lyricist, I believe Serj Tankian from System of a Down is better than Chino Moreno from Deftones.
I'm kicking you out.
Oh, baby.
The house.
You say the
As a
hottest
vocalist?
hot take.
As a vocalist exclusively, because say Serj can write a song, right? And he's also got his own music. What I'm saying is, as a vocalist for System of a Down and as a vocalist for Deftones, I believe Serj is better than Chino Moreno.
I'm gonna say is System of a Down needed another lead singer.
Oh, you're going the opposite way.
They needed two.
Dang.
So,
Okay. I'm gonna take emotion out of this.
all right.
I'm processing this right now.
I love both bands. I grew up with both
don't
bands.
get me wrong. I love Deftones.
Toxicity and White Pony were two of the most influential albums growing up and becoming an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them had such crazy raw emotions. I was in a crappy band in high school, and we covered both Deftones and System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
This is rough.
Chop suey, change.
So I watched.
Okay. Give us some examples.
I watched a few videos on like the vocalists, like people reacting to Serj and Chino Moreno. Don't get me wrong. Chino Moreno has an insane range, especially at his age now, still screaming. What's it? 7 words,
And his
That's
voice
insane.
hasn't
Yeah.
changed out like the guy
Deteriorated
from Avenged
at
Sevenfold. Kind of rough.
Yeah.
but
Still great, but can tell is starting to get shut a little bit.
The Axl Rose treatment.
Yeah. But Serj, I think he's retired now. I haven't seen him at any shows.
Well,
Actually, no, they're on
doing-
tour.
Well, System and Deftones are going to be headlining a show in Toronto.
Toronto, that's right.
So if you wanna live my hot take, go there.
or Serj and Chino, if you want us to, be there live and to ascertain this. I mean, we would not mind.
But
Send your tickets.
as a vocalist, if you listen to the, I guess techniques that Serj uses to emphasize his emotions versus Chino using his techniques to emphasize the emotion that he wants to, I believe Serj has a more technical and, I guess, like wider range of technical, like things that he uses to express his emotions in the different songs that he sings.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, so like in Chop Suey, he's got the he's got the whispering, and then why don't think you trust, which is very lyrical, and
it's
then
very commanding. It's like very
aerial,
Yeah.
But at the same token, Chino, like
They've
when
got
he said range,
they've
Chino-
got a bunch of range. Both of them have a bunch of range.
Yeah.
a bunch of range.
I'm putting these two at like the MJ and Michael Jordan tier. Like they're so far above everybody else. It's these two versus
Like LeBron and
anybody
MJ,
else.
you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is the kind of discussion I'm having where these two have such insane range that comparing them, personally, I put Serj above Chino Moreno in the range of technical things that he uses to express the emotions or things
So
that
would
he's trying to
Chester
get
be
across.
Kobe Bryant in this analogy?
I was gonna say Corey Taylor, Maynard from Tool.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome vocalist.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
So Chino Moreno's often regarded as one of the best.
Yeah.
As is Serj. I get. But I'm trying to think of a song, a System of a Down song without the others. I forget his name, forgive me, but I'm trying to think of a song without
let me
him.
find it.
Oh, without the well, like in Chop Suey, he was mainly harmonizing. It was mainly Serj.
But
Yeah, so
what's the song?
consider him as like a backup vocalist because he's usually complimenting what Serj is
Yeah.
saying, and he's usually using only like one kind of voice, unless it's like a different song. But he's usually backing up Serj.
Yeah, he usually is. And I would say, I think Toxicity is obviously probably the most successful album, but I would say in terms of musicality and like you said, his range as a vocalist, I think Mesmerize was probably a better example of that. I mean, Mesmerize, Hypnotize, I mean, those two songs right there just showed
BYOB, the switch ups.
Yeah. BYOB was pretty
like
there
the
too,
range of BYOB was so like that's the song that kind of got me thinking would I prefer Serj or Chino as a vocalist.
And it's hard too because like
I'll end this right now.
What?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury is the perfect voice.
I bet you if
nobody's
Freddie Mercury,
beating him.
I bet you if Freddie Mercury screamed, he'd probably scream better than Chino. And
I'm sure.
He would bring people back to life.
he probably would. Yeah.
We need to have an AI deepfake of these songs from by Freddie Mercury.
So the body of work, though. So Chino has kind of a larger
Yeah.
Body.
Obviously,
Breadth of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to be.
Okay. Well, state your purposes, figure. Like state your case here.
No, you know what? Figure, honestly, if you want me to be honest, I was taken back by your hot take. But the more I think about it, the more I'm siding with you.
It's a head scratcher, isn't it?
Not even head scratcher. The more I'm actually starting to side with it. Deftones is, top 3 bands of mine.
Like,
so I'm
Deftones,
biased. I am very biased. But, I'm not musically inclined. I do not know any music theory. I have friends that are orchestra teachers. I've studied music. Maybe we can bring them on one day and have this argument. But just to me, that presence and the System of a Down songs were almost opera-ish.
Yeah.
So I think Serj has a very powerful voice, and when he sings, you feel it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Chino has more range though, because he can do stuff that I think Serj can't, as far as like the shoegazy kind of
Yeah.
more mellow
So
stuff.
I think Serj is more like melodic, and then he can start like growling at you.
Yeah.
He can still scream and he can still, but
So like I'm trying to go like point by point. Screaming, I think they're about the same.
They're about the same.
And I think the growling type of real still aggressive stuff, they're still about the same. But then I kind of have a trouble like at the I'm just sitting in my car and waiting for my doom.
Yeah.
And then so like that's about as mellow as Serj gets. Right?
Well,
like, he's got some other stuff. Like he's got some more opera type stuff, right? But with System of a Down, I don't know if I can think of a song that equates to like a sex tape or Cherry Waves or something like that, where it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because I see what you're saying. Because Chino has the softer side and like Teenager or Passenger, where it's not all hard all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So I have some words from Madman here. He'd like to say something.
Okay.
So what I will say is, I think that from System of a Down, I think he relies a lot more on his belting. So even like songs like Spiders, I guess it's more of like a slower song,
That's
but
true.
he gets into his belting no matter what in most of his songs.
That's true.
And I think like a lot of his vocalism like revolves around this, but I think Chino, he can go into multiple things. Like throughout all of Around the Fur, he got into his screamies type stuff.
Yeah,
he
he
got
did.
into some more like psychedelic stuff throughout Saturday Night Wrist and Diamond Eyes. And he got like, he was in that new metal type stuff throughout Adrenaline, right? So I think Chino Moreno covers a lot more ground.
But then there's a lot more work.
The body of work.
Of course, but what I'm saying is that like I think Chino doesn't rely on a certain mechanic. Like he gets into his falsetto a lot, where he's just really airy.
That's
and
true.
his voice, he can go really quiet. Like Teenager, he was in a lot of falsetto.
That's true.
And he wasn't as screamy and as demanding, but he can be his demanding, screaming,
Yeah.
belting
Like
voice
hexagram.
is just as demanding as his, but I don't think he relies on that in his music. And I think maybe this is also the musicians that Deftones has that kind of lift him up in some of their music.
Yeah.
But I think that as far as just singing, I feel like Chino doesn't have one thing that he kind of relies on. But I always find that in System of a Down songs that he keeps going back to this belting that he has, no matter what song it is.
Yeah, it's because Serj doesn't have like an upper register. He doesn't have a falsetto. He doesn't have a note, so he relies on.
He's like the Canes of singers. Like he's got 5 good things, right?
Wow.
But he does them very well.
No, he's incredible, and I'm having trouble because Deftones is my favorite band.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Thanks,
I
Figure.
I'm having trouble.
I'm a little biased because personally I put System of a Down over Deftones, but that's only because I listened to System of a Down growing up. I didn't listen to Deftones as much growing up.
Okay.
Because I'll give you that Figured. He's much younger than us, but I get because Adrenaline and White Pony came out when Mayhem and
we were in high
we
school.
were in high school, college. And then System got popular probably little after that, early 2000s.
Right around the time White Pony came out. I think it was
a little after
it
that
came out.
Well, not Toxicity though. The one before that.
Mesmerized.
Hypnotized.
Or the one
Hypnotized.
behind. Oh, Hypnotized. That's right.
That was middle school for you.
Was that with Sugar?
No,
I covered that
was
song.
the early high school for me. White Pony was middle school for me.
Yeah, White Pony was high school for me.
So this is why I had to isolate as a vocalist, because Chino Moreno, they write songs around his range, right?
That's true, yeah.
So, and I'm not sure how much Chino writes. As a lyricist, if I understood how much he wrote, I'm pretty sure I would put him over Serj in like writing music based on the way he sounds.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
For Serj,
agree.
I also
I
don't
agree.
know what they write, but I believe with what he's given, he does more with the energy and emotion that he's trying to portray.
Yeah.
He does add a lot of intensity, and I just remembered the song Sugar, and he does have a lot of range in that as well.
Yeah.
His voice is a lot more weirder than Chino Moreno's. I have to give him that. That song Sugar, and compare it to like Hexagram. Chino can't do weird like Serj can.
Well, yeah, but that goes to the range, because you have a crazy fun song where he's like, "Ooh, that's in my pocket," right? And then he goes, but then you have a very lyrical song like Chop Suey, and Spiders, and even Aerials, and that shows just his breadth. He can be silly and funny and do all these things in Sugar, but then like
that's what I'm doing, man. Like I'm going back and forth.
And but like to your point, Chino doesn't have that.
That's so maybe.
That's tough.
Do you see? I'm
unsettled.
I won't kick you out.
This is what I'm saying. The
Gwen
song
Stefani.
BYOB.
Here we go with ska again.
BYOB and Prison Song had me thinking about it because of the way, like, what's it? The other, I blank on his name, but the other person that sings with Serj also helps in most of the songs.
Yeah,
but I think it's
I'm
either
gonna
as like a background voice or just to compliment Serj in what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I believe that Serj has a more vocal range than Chino does.
You know, this is gonna bug me.
This isn't about me. I think his name is Darren.
Darren.
Okay, so yes, so like Serj and Darren singing. So like, why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? And then, so like, they get that.
Complimentary.
They're complimentary. But what I'm saying is, Chino could do both of that.
He can, because Chino has the lyrical range.
He does have the lyrical range.
He has a low register and he has the upper register.
But he can also change the tone of his singing as well. It's not just the range. So, like, I get that part. But then you go to songs like Sugar, where it's just so weird, like such a good way.
Such a fun song to play. It's bass, by the way.
It's just a fun song to listen to.
I think so another way to explain this would be like they kind of sing the same things, but Chino Moreno is in like Times New Roman, and Serj is in Comic Sans.
I thought you were gonna say wingdings.
Wingdings.
No, that's Cold Chamber.
Okay, yeah.
So if you think about it, Chino's like more serious, right? If don't like forgive me if I'm wrong, but Serj can get serious, but he can also just be like super silly, like Sugar.
So System of a Down's a lot more sarcastic than people.
Yeah.
They're satirical.
They're
they are.
satirical,
They're satirical.
very
They are.
sarcastic and cynical. So the music has that tone.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think they're just so different
They are.
and so similar at the same time. Like,
I'm gonna pin this to it's an apples and oranges
yeah, I
comparison.
think this is a matter of taste, kind of.
It is.
thing.
Yeah.
We love both bands. Probably gonna rock out some Toxicity on the vinyl tonight.
So,
just to
so now I'm gonna have to listen to all Paramore albums. All
we got Weezer, we got Paramore,
All
we got
System of
Deftones,
All System of a Down.
throw in
Yeah.
And
Linkin
throw in all
Park.
Maroon 5 because
because I hate Maroon 5.
you know what? Instead of going to Stefano, I should have said Adam Levine.
I don't mean.
Oh, God.
Don't say his name 3 times.
All right, so Madman said, in order to, I guess, elevate the argument, we should play Main by Deftones because Serj and Chino both sing on this song.
Oh, there's a collab. That's right.
But I have something to say.
Are we gonna do it impromptu?
Yeah, I don't have any.
Musical?
I don't have any like.
Okay, bear with
slacker
us, folks. I know you've been on with us for a long time, but I think this is very important.
Yeah, so
long
I
episode.
do have to say I don't know who this song was written for, or if it was written for both, or if it was written for one and somebody was like, "Oh, we should feature this guy." So
Okay, let's do it.
I have never, and I also haven't.
Or
listened
maybe
to
they're
this
just
song.
buddies and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
let's do a song together.
All right, let's listen to it real quick.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, Stephen Carpenter.
We'll go through the whole thing.
Still a great song.
We'll eat the copyright.
You
You
can't
can
do
be lyrical.
See, Serj can't do that though. I don't think. Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
It's such a great song.
Oh no, this is an awesome song.
Yeah.
That's something that Chino goes to too. Is the
Yeah.
like raising his voice, kind of like that.
All right, pause the song. So you have the classic Chino, right?
Yeah.
Kind of croony, lot of range, dynamic.
Dynamic. There's a
Like,
word. There's the
very
word.
dynamic, and you know it's Chino singing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's something too. These two guys have very, very distinct voices.
Yes,
If you
they
hear
do.
them on any other band, you'd be like, "Oh, that's Serj," or "Oh, that's Chino."
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in Serj.
I love that like little whiny.
This is quintessential Chino right here.
Oh yeah. I forget when Serj comes in.
I thought so cool.
His voice is so much more haunting though.
Yeah.
It's totally like an opera.
He's like, it's like a singer. I don't know how to sing it though.
So it doesn't have the same presence on the song, but
but he's matching Chino's longer drawn out note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that in System.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess I hear Serj more as like a European singer where it's like, whoa, 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 right? And then Chino has more of a Western feel, I guess, where the singing is kind of also talking at you.
Okay, play Sugar by System of a Down.
I think Serj is about to come on again. Hold on.
Oh.
Classic tuner.
It's like Serj can't out Chino on his song. And I'm pretty sure Chino can't out Serj on his song. They're very different. I get what he's saying, but
Use Chino with the upper register.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying too. It's on Chino's band, so I don't want to make a definitive argument based off of this song. This was an example given by Madman to show them working together on a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, which
So play Sugar by System of a Down.
I'm gonna play my air bass.
The usual growl.
Only Serj can sing about kombucha mushroom people. They're just such different bands too.
Yeah.
A fun song.
It is such a fun song. I remember watching this video the first time.
What the fuck is
Yes.
It's a scream.
All right, now play Hexagram by Deftones. And I'm playing these two songs because it demonstrates their range.
Two. But there's like, it's a little silly. Okay.
One of my personal favorites also.
And they're two such different bands. Too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
they are.
Because Darren and Stephen Carpenter had two completely different guitar styles.
Yeah.
Even the bass.
I think everything in the band is like completely different.
You get the scream right off the bat.
Yeah. So you see
from the get-go.
you see Serj's range kind of develop. His Chino's range is in the same lines of lyrics, right?
It's also how their vocals fit in. I think, Figure, you made this point, how their vocals fit into the overall composition of the song,
Yeah.
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 right?
Mm.
It's even right here.
Yeah. So this isn't even him screaming. Like,
Yeah.
this is like the hip hop kind of influence that you get sometimes, right?
It's hard.
And then he goes back into screaming. All right, you can stop
All
it.
right. This is hard. Damn it, Figured. You're going to have me thinking.
Yeah. All right.
I don't.
All right, I've got another word for Madman here.
Right. Apples to oranges.
I think it's a matter of preference. I think,
And honestly, it's a matter of preference from day to
and
day.
honestly, I can't.
Exactly.
And honestly, I can't really pick right now. Like,
I don't want to.
yeah, I'm a Deftones stan,
I will
and
say,
I can't pick right now.
I will
Madman.
say this is Madman the admin again, but I think like on Swerve City especially, like you don't see Chino go to like his coarse
Yeah.
voice as often. Like I think that's something he does. He can be very coarse with his voice, but he can be a lot more. He can be very smooth too. Not as smooth as Serj can, but I think his voice can be very polarizing. Like he can be on one side and then jump to the complete opposite.
It's like Chino's range is like here because he can go the softer, whispery kind of stuff, like in Teenager, and then all the way over here, and then Serj is like this,
But
this exactly. I think that's what it is.
I mean, they're so different. I think this is what I'm having a problem with.
Yeah.
They're so different. They sing different music.
Yeah.
So it's not apples to oranges to me. I don't know.
They
Man.
like Gala apples compared to Honeycrisp apples.
Maybe.
I'd like
I
to
was just gonna
disclose
go
I'm
green
not.
to red.
It's green apples to red
Red
apples.
apples.
Guys.
I'd like to
Okay.
disclose I'm not like discrediting Chino or discrediting Serj
Yeah.
or
No.
vice versa or anything. They are both insane artists, and I could never do what they do. To
Oh,
be completely
no.
honest,
They're-
I don't think anybody could match up to them.
They're generational
Talent.
Yeah.
talents. There's never going to be another
Yeah.
Serj, another Chino, another Corey, another Maynard. Never.
Adam Levine.
Who?
Oh man.
Anyway.
All right. Well, those of you who stuck with us, thank you so much. I think on that note, I'm weirded out now. Like I don't know. I'm gonna be listening to System now.
I got me
And-
sweating.
Please let us know what
Yeah.
you think.
I have
Yes.
about 19 records to listen to
Yes,
this
exactly.
week.